Welcome back to the Footy Fetish Show, where the fetish is real and the footy is soccer. It's time. It's about that time. About that time. Match day 2 is for you. Match day 1 was fun. Ocho, let's dive into some match day 2, shall we?
We shall, but before we do that,
who we got today?
We're not the most. We need some help.
Yeah.
We need some help. What if we got someone that maybe lives in England? Do you think that would be a good idea?
That'd be a great idea.
I think that would be a good idea.
Who you got?
Welcome to the show. First time, Miguel Garcia. How's it going, sir?
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, and I to give everyone some background, Miguel and we actually met on a soccer team through a mutual friend of ours who we will get onto one of these episodes, Luis Troches. Miguel joined the team, didn't know who he was, but if I remember correctly, immediately came on the field and scored 2 goals, and I'm pretty sure we won that game 2-1 or 2-0. But quickly after that, became friends, and the bond you make with players on the field being teammates is always long-lasting. So, as time went on, we of course grew to learn about each other's teams, which, Miguel, help out the listeners, who is your team in Europe?
For me, it would be Barcelona. If I have to pick somebody local, I think it would be Spurs.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. All right.
Yeah. Second Spurs fan we've had on so far.
Yeah, that's good. So we always like to ask new guests certain questions, relating to soccer. If we go back in time, what was your first memory or first experience that got you into soccer?
I think it goes all the way back to the 2002 World Cup. I remember I was quite young in Cuba, and that's when Nazario was at the top of the world.
Yeah.
He had just gotten through a Ballon d'Or. I think in 2002 was when he scored 8 goals in the tournament for the World Cup. So that was, I must have been like, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 maybe. And just seeing him and Kaká and Ronaldinho, that's when I decided to maybe pick up the ball.
Nice. Very cool.
And that Brazilian team, because we're talking about possibly the 2002 Brazilian team is probably one of the greatest to ever kick the ball.
Definitely. I mean, you go goalkeeper to forward, elite, world-class players all the way throughout the entire team.
And the bench.
And the bench, right. I'm pretty sure Robinho, was he there yet? No, maybe not.
I don't think 2002. I think 2006.
There you go. Thank you. That's right, 2006. So, yeah, cool. So what about first time playing soccer? How old were you? What is like a memory that sticks out to you first time playing soccer?
Probably playing outside in the streets, man, in the dust fields in Cuba. Maybe about 10 years old, 9 years old. But they're very seasonal in Cuba because it's not like a big thing to play football in Cuba. So they tend more to like play baseball. So what they do is they divide it into like 6 months, all the kids are playing baseball, and then another 6 months they're playing football. So, yeah, over there I pretty much struggled when I was playing because it's not like we didn't have goals and,
Gotcha.
Pretty much mark something in the wall to play. That's pretty much all I remember.
Wow. And that
That's
actually
great.
Explains your baseball fandom. Mike Daddy over here is a massive Red Sox fan. So, Mike, I'm going to pass this to you. Talk some baseball.
Yeah, man. I've heard some stories, especially Cuba and in Dominican Republic. A lot of kids will play in the street with like broomsticks and bottle caps. I've heard those stories.
Sticks, bottle caps, and they put like a little rock inside the bottle cap. They close it, and then you dash it, you throw it, and they mark the back of the wall with a square, and that's it. If you hit the bottle cap inside the square 3 times.
Wow. Very cool.
Wow.
Very cool. I didn't know that.
Could be how Pedro Martinez learned through that fastball, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple stories of him. He's one of my favorites of all time. About how he, I think it was the Yankees Red Sox matchup in 2004 where he made that mistake of he's like, I guess I'll call the Yankees my daddy, and then like that next game, the whole Yankee Stadium, every pitch, who's your daddy? And they asked him about it after. Of course, he pitches phenomenally, he doesn't care. And they're like, how'd you keep so calm? He's like, man, 15 years ago, I was living under a mango tree without like 50 cents in my pocket.
Jeez.
It's like hitting bottle caps. I think he said throwing bottle caps. He's like, I was the center of attention today at Yankee Stadium. Like, why would I be nervous? It's crazy stuff.
That sort of stuff that motivates you,
So, Miguel, who is your favorite baseball team?
It would be the Cubs for me.
Cubs.
Cubbies,
Very cool.
okay.
All right.
Cool, man.
Dig it. So I know this is a soccer podcast, but what reason? How'd you get into the Cubs?
Because in like I said, when I was living in Cuba, it's not like they don't really air any games out there. They might air 2 or 3 games the whole year. Well, back in those years, and when I was very young, around the same age I started playing football, they aired one of the Cubs games, and it just first game that I saw baseball, it was them, and then I saw Sammy Sosa, which is actually my favorite player of all time, and then since then I've been on the Cubs. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. Very cool. Love hearing these backstories because it kind of it gives you some idea of the guest we're talking to right now.
That's right.
Okay?
And baseball, like you said, baseball and soccer both. I mean, that is what it is in Latin countries, man. Absolutely.
Personally,
cool,
I think they're probably the 2 greatest sports in the world. I do love baseball.
Hell yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't know if you know this. Johan Cruyff was also a huge baseball fan, and in his book, he talked a lot about the similarities between baseball and soccer. One of them being in baseball, you have to think so many moves ahead.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking about, okay, we've got this many outs, this many strikes, balls, whatever. There's players on these bases. If the ball comes to me, I have to know where to throw it. I've got to be thinking always ahead. I can't just react when the ball comes. I've got to know where to go. And he says that helps him in soccer because he's constantly thinking of where he'll be passing the ball or where he needs to be to receive the ball. And then on defense as well.
Yep.
Where is the ball coming down the field? Where do I need to position myself? So that's really cool. I always like hearing about people's perspectives in when they are a soccer fan as well as another sports fan. So this is going to be really interesting to hear you talk about soccer and baseball together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, one of those things I told Tim just to close this out is how the players are numbered. The positions have numbers in both baseball and soccer. So that's a similarity that I thought of off the top of my head.
Yeah, that helps. It helps with communication.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's get into why we're here. Let's dive on in.
Let's get whapped. Let's get our stuff. Let's get our stuff wet.
Let's get
it wet.
This is the Champions League Match Day 2 preview, which is for you. Booty. Let's start it off with Group A.
Group A, baby.
Hey.
First one, Lokomotiv Moscow against Bayern. Prayers up for you, Lokomotiv Moscow.
Prayers up.
That one is going to be your early game for Group A for the day, and that is on Tuesday, October 27th. And then your next game for Group A is going to be Atletico Madrid looking to bounce back from that 4-0 beatdown. They're going to be against Salzburg.
Okay.
That sounds like a really intriguing one there.
matched.
Yeah, definitely. But
Shout
gentlemen,
out Jesse Marsh.
I was about to say Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh
time. Man, that's gonna be fun. Marsh against Simeone.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a really fun one. Miguel, what you think about that one?
I think Atletico were quite disappointing from the game that I saw them a couple of days ago. Not because of what the final score was against Munich 4-0, just the way that they were. We all know that Atletico always go out to play the same thing. Everybody knows that. The thing is can you make a difference? Can you make a hole in the midfield when they do it? They're pretty good at that. But I don't know. I feel like they're a timing bomb, Atletico, right now, because I don't know. Simeone is like the top paid coach in the world right now, I think.
Wow.
He's number one, I believe. And they looked horrible, man. That's what I think. They looked horrible. The first 15 minutes were just a landslide of what was gonna come. You know, I didn't think it was gonna be maybe 4-0. I thought maybe 2-0, 3-0. Maybe I thought Atletico were gonna get a goal in, but I definitely knew the Bayern Munich were pretty much just gonna have them chasing them around. You know, obviously it's an easier matchup for what Atletico have coming up. I think they'll do decently, but I think they will struggle. I think they will struggle to put the ball in the back of the net.
Wow.
Damn.
So can we mark you down? We're gonna get a prediction from you for every game in
You were
match day
telling
2.
me, yeah, I would like that.
Do you want to do Atletico here?
I'd like to do as many as you let me do.
You're gonna give us a prediction for every game, but we got to nail you down on this one. Do you want to do a draw? Do you want Atletico? Do you want to take Salzburg? Who you got in this game?
I got Salzburg 2-1.
Whoa!
Damn.
I dig that.
All right.
I dig that. I'm gonna bounce off of that one. I'm gonna go draw 2-2.
2-2.
I think a 2-2 draw. You know I don't like doing scores, but in the spirit of this episode, I'll put some scores on paper.
Dude, I'm thinking draw 2 because I can't see Atletico dropping 2 in a row. If they do, I mean, we got like my friend Miguel here just said. I mean, Simeone is one of the best in the world, but I think we got to start questioning some things if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening. I'm gonna go draw as well, but a scoring draw, not a scoreless draw. I think we're gonna see some goals here for sure.
Definitely gonna see some goals.
And that second game, I'm gonna assume everybody's feeling some Bayern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one's a no-brainer. Bayern, Lokomotiv Moscow. Bayern just look hot. They just look on form. I will be shocked actually if Lokomotiv score a goal. I'm anticipating a clean sheet for Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel, what do you got?
I'm pretty much the same. I think it would just be a baseball scored in it. You know.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how many, but then I don't know what if we'll see some sort of rotation in the Bayern's lineup. Maybe so.
Good point.
Probably so. You know. But
Good point.
regardless, I don't see Moscow putting a goal in.
Yeah, I think the only way somebody's catching Bayern is it's going to be on a bad day. I don't think this is going to be the day.
No.
I thought maybe Atletico would, but oops. So anyway.
Okay, Group A.
Group A. Let's go Group B, baby.
Group A.
Group B. This one I like a lot.
I like it too.
Miguel, we talked about in previous episodes which group is the group of death this year. And this one is definitely one of them we feel is a group of death. Before we get into Group B, do you have an opinion on which group is the group of death? I'm not trying to lead you on here either.
Maybe B.
B? Okay. And we'll go into – I'm going to ask you again because we really like H. H is another really tough group. PSG, Man U, Leipzig. And then there was another one. I forget what it is.
Maybe the Liverpool Atlanta one?
Yeah,
Ajax?
that one. That's right.
Yeah, that's Group
Yeah.
D.
I like
Group
Atlanta.
Yeah. But let's get back to Group B here. We've got Shakhtar Donetsk and Inter on the 27th. That is also an early game. We just saw Shakhtar upset Real Madrid. It wasn't a full Real Madrid. They were missing Ramos and Kroos and Benzema. However, you're Real Madrid. You should have depth to handle Shakhtar.
Yep.
That being said here, Shakhtar Inter, I love Conte. They skated by with Mönchengladbach. I think I'm going to go draw here.
Draw.
I'm going to go second draw. I'm dropping draws here.
Yep.
Second time in a row. I'm going to go 2-2, dropping draws.
He's naked over here. He's drawless.
We drop draws. When we talk about draws, we drop draws.
Get dropped the fuck out.
Miguel, what you got? Shakhtar Inter.
I got Inter 1-0.
Nice. Oof. That's a good call.
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing, man. I'm going to go Inter as well. It's weird, man. Inter, they look good, then they look shaky. Then they look really good, then they look shaky again. Then they look really awesome, shaky again. I think this is where they're going to absorb some of that attack. They're going to sit back a little bit. I know they don't usually do that, but I think Lukaku gets a goal. I like that 1-0. I'm gonna go Inter as well.
Another thing that I'm remembering is I feel like they were a little lacking on depth. I'm pretty sure COVID hit them with some missing players, so look to have them have some more starters. I'm going to try and find we can usually let everyone know who will be missing. Here we go. I found it. Shout out to Who Scored. Huge Who Scored slut here. Okay, and we don't have an injury list, but when they played Milan 2 weekends ago, there was about 5 players out due to COVID. So 2 weeks ago, that should be cleared.
Yeah.
And they had some key players in that lineup. So I like that. That's good. You might convince me Inter will win that one because of these players coming back, but after that Mönchengladbach performance, I don't know. I'm shaky.
And also, it seems like even you can go back to last year. I mean, Inter's been starting off so damn hot, but not finishing too well. So, yeah.
Well, that was a group of death last year. You got Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter. That was a tough group for any of those teams.
Yep.
But,
That was tough.
So, moving on ahead to the second game in Group B.
Just want to say they also started hot in Serie A last year, too.
They did start off hot.
And didn't finish. Anyway.
Well, they got, top 4 is a good finish, And they did lose the Europa final.
They
right?
did. They lost that, too.
Was that Sevilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're looking for some wins for sure.
Got to put the icing on the cake, baby.
Next game, Mönchengladbach, Real Madrid. Miguel like that one? Mönchengladbach, Real Madrid.
Time, yeah?
Go ahead.
I'd say I'm going to go 3-1.
Real
3-1
Madrid.
3-1. Real.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got you on here because I know you watched El Clásico in full.
Sadly,
yeah. Just give us a few thoughts about that game in regards to Real, and then once we get to Barcelona, help us break down Barcelona in El Clásico. So, what went right for Real Madrid in El Clásico this past weekend?
I think the early goal was definitely very key. I think out of the 50 times that Valverde plays, he does really well, at least almost every single time he plays. I don't think he's an extraordinary individual player, but just the whole system that Zidane has him in the middle of, I think he does really good, especially when you pair Kroos and Casemiro into him. He's got that good physicality and speed to go back and forth, and he does that a lot.
Yeah.
And I noticed that every time he's tracking back, if Barcelona are trying to start from the back and go forward, he will actually pressure up. And it takes a lot of gas to do that, and he does it until you take him out.
Yeah.
I think it was really important for Madrid to get that early goal. I think they were a little bit shocked when the equalizer came, but then after he leveled up, maybe 5 minutes before halftime, their whole reaction to that goal changed. They were a bit more optimistic to it. They were trying to get balls forward. I think they reacted really well. And then after that, the penalty call for me was a 50-50. I would have called it. I would have not. Look, it's a penalty. It might have been. Some people will say that it was not, or it actually was. I will agree that the fact that it was, but I think it was a weak penalty. But either way, that's what Ramos is there for. That's why, regardless if he was hurt or not, he's not on the bench, because that's the type of things that Ramos can do. That's what experience pays you to do, and he does it well, And I think after the 65 minutes, the game was over.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard they were looking for Messi this morning. And they found him in Ramos's back pocket. So heard he himself a day.
Let's hold off on Messi till Group G.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
Definitely, I definitely want to break down what happened with Messi. But I couldn't agree more. Sergio Ramos being on the field, just his presence, the leader, the captain, scores the PK.
Yeah.
So pivotal. We saw him not being on the field. What happened against Shakhtar?
Yeah.
They lost. Let up some easy goals. And now they're sitting in last place in Group B.
Yep.
Shocking. With that being said, Real Madrid, Mönchengladbach, full roster. If they have Benzema, Ramos, Cruz, I think I agree with you. I'll give me a 3-0, 3-1 easy win for Real.
Definitely. I'm going to go Real as well. We set a stat, going back to what we just said with our last episode, the last 10 times Sergio Ramos has not played for Real, they have won one game.
That's right.
he's going to be back this one. I'm going Real.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's an easy one for me, for sure.
One of them
good.
cost them elimination, right? Which was
Yes.
was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, it was last year.
Eliminated him.
He had a red card. He had to sit out against
City.
City.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
City ran away with that one.
Yep.
Easy. Easy win. Okay. So, going on to Group
C. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Group C. Who do we got in Group C?
And again, guys, this is October 27th.
That's right. 27.
FC Porto against Olympiacos. And Marcel versus Man City.
Mm.
Yikes. Be honest with you, I don't care about either of those games, but
Yeah, this
well,
got to make a prediction here.
ooh, I'm gonna go City and I'm gonna go Porto.
I agree. City Porto.
City Porto.
Same for me. Same for
All
me.
Didn't get to really watch these games, but this is a pretty easy group for City. I can actually see City going ahead quickly. They did this last year, get 3 wins and then kind of coast
Yeah.
and use their players to help them go far in the EPL or have the strength in the EPL. So look for that. All right. Did you have something to say, Miguel? I kind of cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm with City and Porto all the way. I think it's one of the easiest groups. So
It's weird how City keeps getting those easy groups.
It's like they're paying somebody
Yeah,
off or something.
It's weird. I wonder what it costs for an easy group.
You know, it's
Right,
funny. They
check.
were in Group C last year too.
They were.
Easy as fuck.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
And then there were some fans actually complaining that had such an easy group. And if you recall, they drew some of those games. One of which was to
Atalanta.
Atalanta.
That's right, man. Allowed them to get out that group.
So yeah,
Crazy.
get your foot out your mouth, fools.
Oh man.
Want to move on Group D?
Group D.
Because this is an exciting one. This is exciting right here.
This is awesome.
As we kind of gave it a shout out a couple minutes ago here. Group D, again, this is the last games on the 27th here. Atalanta and Ajax. Ooh.
Oh.
Mm.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Well, before we get into this, I don't know if you guys saw, Ajax just won 13 baseball score. I'm stealing that from you, Miguel. Baseball score of a game, 13-0.
Shit, how about a football score?
Damn, football score.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Now
That's
we're
2
going to
touchdowns,
football,
man.
Damn.
One field goal shy, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just missed a field goal. Went for 2 maybe.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
Yeah.
13-0. Traore. I forgot the youngster's first name.
Yeah.
But he's from a country I've never heard of. And that's always interesting for me when you find a player that can do that well. It's from a country that'll never perform at the World Cup
Yeah.
because European soccer is his only focus.
Is that like the Caribbean country that somebody was talking about the other day?
Could have been.
The Sugar Boys?
No, not them.
No?
And you pick up for me, I'll look it up.
Yeah, he's gonna look okay. So, Atalanta Ajax. Let's get back to this one while he's looking up where our friend's from. Man, oh man. Even with Ajax scoring these goals, man, I still feel like Atalanta is going to come through. Atalanta, actually, let's look on the other spectrum of this real quick before we even jump into it. Atalanta had some trouble, and they were upset yesterday in Serie A.
Ooh,
3-1 loss
Love
to Sampdoria. Our boy, remember Quagliarella?
Quagliarella.
Quagliarella. Blah. Dude, the old, ancient Italian motherfucker. He's still alive. He was scoring goals for Sampdoria yesterday.
Serie A, bro.
Serie A.
Extend your career.
That
How
being
old
said,
is he 39?
he's got to be late 30s or early 40s even.
I got you. Give me 2
Let's see.
seconds. 37.
37.
37. Okay.
I feel like I've seen him way more than
He's still younger than Zlatan, though.
That's right.
That's right.
That's true.
Shout out to Zlatan. Not in this conversation, but hey, got to mention him.
Got to mention him. He's in it whether you know it or not. But that being said, man, Atalanta, I think they got to bounce back here. I will give them some credit, though, that game yesterday. They did a different formation. They did a different lineup. Well, they did the same formation, different lineup than the Champions League matchup from the other day. They actually had Ilicic starting this time and Muriel coming off the bench. So that's something to think about there. But with all that being said, I'm going to take Atalanta. What you think? What you think, Miguel?
I think I'm going with Atlanta as well. I like the way they play. As far as I know, they didn't lose anybody from last year.
Right.
Unless you guys can tell me.
No,
but I really like
just
it.
added.
They've played good this year so far. And besides Ajax having that ridiculously game yesterday on an easy opponent, easy league,
Right. Yep.
I think they will win.
Yep.
So I've got this guy's name. Thank you for your prediction. I've got this guy's name. Lassina Traore from I just lost it. Here we go. Burkina Faso. It's an African country just north of Ghana and Ivory Coast.
Damn.
Never heard of it until just now. I've heard of it, but like you've never heard of it in the soccer world.
Right.
He's 19 years old, so plenty of time to grow as a player. I think he scored like 6 goals maybe, or he had like.
It says he has 5 in the league. What if all 5 were yesterday? It might be, right?
He might be. But he might be an interesting pickup later in this because Midtjylland is proven that they're not. They're
Not
in
even on
Champions
this
League to
level.
have fun.
Yeah, man.
They're there. We're here. We're just gonna have fun while we can.
Right.
That being said, give me Atalanta.
Cool.
Gasparini, I think he's still pissed off that in the way they got knocked out last year to PSG. Especially not having Ilicic and Papu Gomez having to sub out early due to an injury. I think they're going to go for the finals in Champions League. Mark me down, Atalanta against Ajax.
Oh, all right. That other pool. That
That
other match for Group D would be Liverpool and Midtjylland. Boy, oh boy, prayers up to Midtjylland.
Prayers up.
After the way Liverpool looked last game, really sluggish, really out of sync, no goals scored, at least for themselves, with that own goal that they had, was the only goal to help them win versus
Ajax.
Yeah, so
What?
I was expecting more goals. I think they were as well. I don't see Salah, Mane, Firmino being shut down second game in a row. They're going to get that together. Give me Liverpool this game.
Liverpool.
What you got, Ocho?
Liverpool.
I'm a Liverpool.
This
You got it
is
as
an
well?
easy one.
Mark them down. Mark it down. I think that one we got to look at. We know who's winning it. Give me an over-under. Give me an over-under 3 goals.
Over.
Over?
Over.
Over? I'm going to go over as well.
That'll do it for Tuesday, 27th of October.
That'll do, Ocho.
That'll do. That'll do, lads.
That'll do.
We head into the 28th of October.
There we go.
Group E. Krasnodar, Chelsea, Istanbul. Krasnodar, Chelsea, Sevilla, Rennes. Let's start with the easy one. Chelsea, Krasnodar. As we said before, Krasnodar, they're here to have fun. They made it. They're just happy that they got the Champions League money. They're going to try and score at least a goal. I think they actually had a player with an amazing goal last week.
They did.
Was it Sanchez? I want to say his name was Sanchez.
I remember seeing the highlight.
Gorgeous goal.
Yeah.
Just turned his defender around. Created some space for himself, ripped a left-footed shot. Great goal. Wound up tying the game? Losing the game. Tied the game. Everyone's tied in that group. Tied the game up.
Yeah.
But Chelsea, mark me down. I think they're coming out guns blazing here.
Okay. What you got, Mike?
I got Chelsea by a long run. I mean, I didn't see this other team that played last week. I didn't even watch the game. I've never even seen them play. So
right. Have you heard of them?
I tell you who I do got. I got Sevilla.
Yes, sir.
Early prediction.
Love me some Sevilla too, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Booty got a lot of predictions right last season with Sevilla.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like Europa,
I think it could only get better because Sevilla are, I think, very interesting to watch this year, and they're very entertaining. They got a really good team. They know how to play together. They just struggle to score goals, but they're trying to work with that. Other than that, they look really good.
Yes.
You can go sign you some goal scorers. I mean, you'll find them. The beautiful thing about watching them, and the beautiful thing, I like how you said they're going to get better. They're almost like forced to get better playing in La Liga with the Barcelona, with the Real Madrids. Like you're going to have to stick with them. So
yeah.
What's
really interesting about Sevilla for me is we forget about the failed Real Madrid coach, Lopetegui, who was actually the Spanish head coach right before the World Cup. They let him go. Real Madrid picks him up. Got off to a rocky start. Gets fired. Sevilla picks him up.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it's a technical director, but the gentleman Monchi, who is well known in the behind the scenes management world of European soccer, he has been doing wonders with the budget they have. Lopetegui and Monchi got Sevilla to the Europa League final after not making it to the knockout stage last year, and won it.
Yep.
And won the Europa.
Yep.
Not only did they win Europa, they finished top 4. They also, I believe they forced Barcelona to a draw, which dropped them from first to second last year and allowed Real Madrid to get on top and then made that gap separate. So, man, Miguel, like you're saying, just piggybacking on what you're saying, Sevilla are a very surprising club to watch. They've been doing some really sneaky stuff in these last 12 months. It's mark me down for Sevilla. I love Camavinga at Rennes, but Sevilla is the stronger team here, top to bottom.
And that is that second match we did mention, folks, for Group E, Sevilla versus Rennes.
Sevilla Rennes.
My Chelsea pick, I'm going to say this. So, 2 scoreless draws in a row. Show me Frankie can't figure this out yet. I say he still doesn't figure it out yet.
Oh!
Another draw.
Draw!
for Chelsea.
Damn, he's dropping draws on Chelsea.
And I'm going to go Sevilla as well, of course. But yeah, I mean,
I can dig it.
it's gonna. We mentioned this in a couple episodes ago as well about Chelsea, man. It's EPL is unforgiving. You're not gonna have much time to figure this out.
No.
Better figure it out, dude. At least before Christmas.
That's right.
And
And I think he's got the formation.
Here's a question I got for you guys on Chelsea. Are we done seeing Kepa?
Ooh.
Do you think
Yeah.
that? Do you think
I
that
think
this
so.
guy is gonna be
Yep.
starting?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. I forget this guy's name. What's his name? He's got a very common last name.
I mean, look,
The guy that they started yesterday?
The guy that they started. What's his name? But he made some great saves that kept Chelsea in the game against Sevilla. I mean, you
Yep.
got to roll with the hot hand.
Yep.
He's proven it already.
Yep.
Is it Eder? It might be Eder. Let me look this
while
up.
he's looking it up, I like that point, Miguel. In the, if you asked me that a couple weeks ago, Mendy. If you asked me that a couple weeks ago, if we were going to see Kepa again, I'd probably say yeah. But then when I saw that they brought Peter Cech back, okay,
Is that real?
That's
You
real.
said that. I
That's
didn't
a
know
real.
that was real.
That's a real thing. So they
Yeah.
really brought him back. The fact they just did that shows me they are definitely done at this point with Kepa. Yeah, they brought him. He had some sort of front office role with them.
What? I just,
Yeah, and they brought him back
Oh my god!
as a backup.
Chelsea named Peter Cech in Premier League squad as quote unquote emergency keeper.
"Quote unquote," see you, Kepa.
They don't
Like,
want Kepa in. They'd rather bring in the old Peter Cech, who's been working with a suit and tie. Hey man, you mind hanging up your suit and putting on your boots again? Jeez.
Fun fact about Peter Cech, though. Fun fact. You know that dude plays hockey too. He's a hockey goalie too.
And he's a drummer. He's
I
a
didn't
really
know
good
that, too.
drummer. Yeah,
That's cool.
He's
He's
a
one of my
really
favorite
cool
players
dude.
now, man.
He's
That's
a cool dude. Yeah.
That's
So, should we see? Do you think we'll see Cech in the Champions League?
Maybe.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Wow, nostalgia.
Talk about what is he's got to be 40, right?
I would agree. Yeah, let's see.
He's got to.
I'd like to see him on the FA Cup. I'd like to see him on the FA Cup.
38.
That's a good point, dude.
Still younger than Zlatan. 38.
The FA Cup. That's a perfect time to see some backups come in. Yep. Love it. Love
Wow. Okay, this is exciting. Peter
That's awesome.
Cech. Holy fuck. Taking it back to it. We're going in a time machine, man. Damn.
it. Shout out to Matt McDaniel, baby. Peter Cech's back. Man.
All right, Group F. Group F for me is like Group C. It's pretty worthless. Chelsea, Sevilla should just totally dominate here.
Yep.
I could see Sevilla getting that win over Chelsea and getting the number 1 spot
Definitely.
in the future.
Let's move on to Group F. Let's do it.
Let's get F.
Let's get F. This was a fun one. First game.
I like this one a lot.
Club Brugge and Lazio. Your second matchup is going to be Dortmund versus Zenit. But first, let's talk about Club Brugge and Lazio. Man, every time you put Club Brugge in a corner, they come out and play, man. But,
Dude.
man, I'm going to go Lazio.
Yeah.
Club Brugge probably heard me. But
No, this is an easy one for me. This is Lazio. They just came off a 3-1 win over Dortmund. If we look in the domestic league really quickly, Lazio, I know, are still on form in the domestic league. They just beat Bologna 2-1. They're on form.
Yeah.
Immobile, like I said that other episode, Lucas Leiva, as long as he's in, he's kind of the engine in the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
And then that allows Sergej Milinkovic-Savic to really put himself into an attacking role and create chances for Lazio. Miguel, who you got?
I got Lazio as well. I saw him play last night. I like the way they played. They look solid. They look good. They're fast. And I got Dortmund. I know Dortmund had a tough last week, but then it's just in the long run. I know we're talking about next week, but I think Dortmund Lazio should be having this group easily.
Easy.
Definitely. We got Dortmund as well.
Dortmund, put me down for Dortmund.
Definitely looking to bounce back. I actually watched Dortmund yesterday. 3-0 win versus Schalke yesterday. Haaland looked phenomenal again. You're really starting to see him open up those other parts of his game that we're talking he needed to work on. Yes.
Elaborate. Help me out.
Great give and go with him and I want to say Sancho around the midfield. It was first goal. It was actually the second goal of the day. It was his first goal, but the second goal for Dortmund. He took possession of the ball. He kind of slowed the game down a little bit. Looked around, saw Sancho, gave it to Sancho, made his run, gave it right back to him for Sancho gives him the through ball. He chips it over the keeper for a goal. It was a really
okay.
good
Putting a little tool, putting a little trick in his tool belt. There.
And dude, the light bulb went off. I was like, dude, that's what we've been saying, man. I wanted to see that other aspect of his game develop. You know, where he wasn't trying to do too much. But you could really see it on that one specific play.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, yeah, absolutely.
And actually, looking at this game, Favre went out of the ordinary here and played with a back four. Yeah, shocking, right? But played with a back four. We've seen him transition to a three-man back for a long time, and this is really unique right here. It looks like Akanji is back and healthy, which is great because then you can have Hummels and Akanji as the centerpiece to your defense.
And that was who they were missing Akanji as well.
And against Lazio, that's right.
Yep.
And you got to give Emre Can credit here because he is not a center back, but Favre has called on him to play center back, and he has continued to play that and do it at a pretty high level. So this is exciting. I'd love to see Witsel and Can back as CDM together in a double pivot role with whoever he decides to put in those front four.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dortmund. I don't know, Miguel. I don't know if you're familiar with the coach of Dortmund, Lucien Favre. He is the crutch for Dortmund. He is the reason they aren't just on the best form possible. He continually changes things all the time. When it's working really well, he'll just change it, and you're like, "What are you doing?" So, for us, he is definitely the piece that you have to be aware of when you're making predictions and picking. Who's going to win with Dortmund and their opponent.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do you think they bring out a back four against Zenit?
Hey, if it's this back four, I'd take it all day.
Shit, me too.
It looked beautiful yesterday. And to point this out, too, this score looks dominating. They didn't dominate the first half, really. The first half was scoreless.
Yeah, 0-0.
So,
yikes.
That being said, that's a hot take. I mean, not a hot take, but that's a good point to prove right there. I mean, their back line was working the whole first half, so props to the back line. If it is that, I'd go that back line all day, man.
And let's see. I'm going to look up player stats real quick. Let's just check the number of passes. I'd be willing to bet. Look at that. Holy fuck. Mats Hummels, 118 passes. Manuel Akanji, 93. Rafael Guerreiro, 120.
Yeah.
So they were clearly using their center backs, and Guerreiro it appeared when I looked at the formation that he was in a left winger role. He wasn't playing his typical left back. So makes you wonder what his role was in this if he's getting 120 passes.
And an 8.7 rating and an assist in this match, too.
That's insane.
Yep.
Number one, he's playing out of his normal position. Number two, he's got the most passes on the team. So that really tells you a lot about the direction they were bringing this ball down the field to try and maybe create space on the other side for Haaland and Hazard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Royce was on that left for the Ajax match, or not Ajax, excuse me, for the Lazio matchup.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, in that 2-1 triangle, he was on the left.
He's on the left. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So.
All right. Borussia Dortmund, again, we just don't know until Lucian releases the starting lineup what's going to happen. But I think we're all right here in that they're going to win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, they got to.
Yeah. Moving on. I think that does it for Group F here. It does Lazio Dortmund. Group G. Again, Wednesday, 28th of October. We've got a real stinker, a little toilet bowl. Ferencváros, Dynamo Kiev. I think Dynamo Kiev has got so much Champions League experience here. They are definitely one of the more dominant teams in the Ukraine. They're in Ukraine, right? Or maybe Russia. Pretty sure it's
Kiev is Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Yep.
Like we've said about other teams, Ferencváros is here to have fun. They got the Champions League money. They're just going to come and try and score some goals.
Definitely.
Give me Kiev here.
Boom.
Mike Daddy, who you got?
Same. I think they're the ones that do the rough plays most of the time. Like Hogue said, they've been playing against. They've been on the Champions League for the last 3 or 4 years, I think, and they're always playing really tough teams, and they do in some games bad and some decently. I think they have this definitely in the bag, no question.
No questions.
Definitely. We go same.
Same thing.
Yep.
And this one, I'm gonna have to pass it off to.
Which one?
Ooh, that's a good.
Let
point
him
here.
go for.
I just realized that too, man.
Damn, I just got that.
Hey, Barca buddy.
Let's pass it off to the Juve fan first.
Man, you know who I'm picking.
I know who you're picking.
Ain't no thing, baby.
So
one thing we gotta mention
Go
though,
ahead.
since we are gonna, what is the biggest thing we're gonna talk about this match? We got Ronaldo Messi again. Yes, we all want to see it.
We all want to see it. Man,
oh man,
it feels so good to be back.
Now, one little tidbit of Juve news here. So McKinney also had COVID along with Ronaldo. McKinney has been cleared. He's actually in the lineup today, or he's available today anyway. I don't know if he's in the lineup. I haven't checked.
And they play Verona today.
Yes.
For those who.
Ronaldo has not been cleared yet, so that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's cleared in time, because I know we all want to see it. We gotta see it, right? I think the soccer guys will clear him. I think we'll see it. The way Juve's attack has been looking under Pirlo, man, I've really been liking it. As I've mentioned a few times already, it's really been fun to watch. It's just such a freaking switch, such a difference from sorry ass, dude. Sorry ass, it's like, oh, let's all go, let's get up to the 18, and then we just don't know what to do with it. Man, they have multiple options once they actually get to that 18, once they get in the box. And then also seeing Chiesa. Man, Chiesa really looked impressive the other day. Really hope to see that. I think it continues. I'm going to go close match. I think it's going to be a back and forth, like a 2-1. Maybe like 2-1 Juve.
2-1.
Yep. So
let's hear from the Barca fan real quick. Go into what went wrong for Barcelona in El Clásico, and then if you could follow it up with your prediction on how they'll handle Juve.
Right. Talking about El Clásico yesterday, I think just to keep it plain and simple, the easy fact that the best player for Barcelona on El Clásico yesterday was Sergio Dest. Says everything.
Yeah, the American.
So I think I love him. I think he was brilliant. He was really good. But that isn't the point. The point isn't that it's allowed for a defender to be maybe the start at times in some games, the best player of the game, but not for a game like this. He was by far their best player. Maybe Fati comes in second because of his goal contribution, and he was very resistant in trying to get the ball forward when he got it instead of trying to pass the ball back. But other than that, there was just Dest was really the best player. It was disappointing for them in the last three. Like I said, after the 65th minute of the El Clásico, I believe the game was finished. Madrid put it to sleep. What I didn't see coming was that third goal. I thought they were going to finish it 2-1. I didn't see Modric scoring that, but I think Barcelona missed Ter Stegen a lot because he contributes a lot more than sometimes we take for underestimated.
That's
him and
Oblak
for me are probably the best goalkeepers in the world.
Wow. I like that. I would have to agree. I'm remembering last year, we saw Barcelona go up against Dortmund. First game, I think, of Champions League. and it was a 0-0 draw. Dortmund dominated that game, but Ter Stegen had a fucking amazing performance. Like,
that game should have been 3-0 at least.
Yeah, easily. So that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. So I just brought up the Barcelona-Real Madrid El Clásico game, and I'm noticing that they're playing a 4-4-2, and Messi and Fati are up in the two striker position. I didn't even pay attention to that. What are your thoughts on that? That doesn't seem right.
Here's why I was listening to what you guys said earlier, and you pretty much said that it was easier for Ramos on this game to have Messi on his pocket. And here's why I think why. Because the problem of having Messi playing as a 9 is that it's when he tracks back, it makes it complicated because you're already playing with Coutinho as a false 9 mostly. You know, he's playing as a cam already. And that's where Messi does his damage because I don't know if you've noticed, but most of this like Bayern Munich, Madrid, when someone plays behind a striker, if the center backs don't come out to pressure him, you know, they usually give him time. And that's where Messi has some space time when he gets the ball to think or to do one of those passes like he did to Alba on the Fati goal, for example. And since you have Coutinho behind him there, it was really easy yesterday for Ramos to have Messi really close to him. You know, when Messi was tracking back at some point, he had to go back to the front, you know. And not only that, but it was just a mess because I don't know if you guys noticed, but at some point, I think Pedri was in the left, Fati was in the right, Coutinho was I don't know where. You know, it was a shamble in front, and Messi didn't really have any escape routes to go to. You know, Ramos did really well, but if that's the only bad thing about not having a real number 9, you pay the price for it.
That's right.
You know.
So 2 follow-up questions. One of them being, what's going on with Griezmann, and 2, is Koeman the coach for Barcelona going forward?
I like Koeman and into what he's bringing onto the team and what he's done to the environment and the atmosphere. I do not think he's a coach going forward, not because I would dislike him or anything like that, but simply because of what's going on with the president. I do not think the new president that comes in wants to keep him at all because I know that the ideas on the table is either Xavi or Guardiola at some expensive point. I don't think if Font or what's his name, what's the other guy that's running? Is it Laporta? If Font or him come in, they're not keeping Koeman. I'm very sure of that.
Nice. And what's the deal with Griezmann? Why is he not on the field? He's like a 9. He could play there.
When is the last time that we saw Griezmann put in a good performance on a Barcelona shirt? I think that's why.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he touched the ball one time yesterday. I know he came in late, but he touched it one time, and he touched it at the halfway line. And I feel so sorry for him because I think Griezmann is a quality player, and it sucks to see him like that. And then you see him in France, how well he plays. You know, it's very similar. It's not as bad as Bale because Bale's quality will always be undeniably, you know. But you see Bale when he went play for Wales, and you see him now play for Spurs. You see how different he plays. You know, even his attitude is completely different, and it's the same for Griezmann. But I think it's probably one of the worst career moves that Greasy has done to go to Barcelona. Sadly for him.
Swap him for Neymar, baby. Y'all get Neymar back.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. Maybe Dembele as well in there because I don't think they can afford Neymar with just Griezmann in the deal.
Yeah, like a 2-man swap. Yeah.
Yeah, and that would give Neymar his opportunity to be the face of Barcelona maybe if Messi leaves.
Yeah.
You know, you lose Messi's wages. Messi finally gets his final sending off. Neymar comes in. Or maybe Neymar coming in
keeps Messi there. That's what I'm thinking.
Keeps Messi at bay,
We'll never know. But that's interesting. So I'm assuming your pick for this game, Miguel?
I have the Juventus and Barca game. Oh, I don't think Ronaldo will play. I don't think he makes it back in time. No chance. He was already looking shaky for this game now because of what he went through. Now that he tested positive again, sadly for the virus, I don't think he's gonna play. Sad for all of us because we all want to see it. I don't think he will play. And my prediction is a 2-2.
2-2.
2-2 dropping draws, baby.
This is tough for me. I think without Ronaldo, I think Juve plays a little bit better because they don't try and force the ball to him.
Oh.
We saw that when they recently played.
Yeah.
I like what they did with Morata up top, having him be kind of the focal point, and then you allow Chiesa to have the freedom down the left. Chiesa adds a totally different dynamic on the left wing than what Ronaldo does.
Yep.
A lot more speed, a lot more agility. He's just a younger player.
Yep.
So with that being said, I know that backline for Barcelona, Piqué got a red card, so he is going to be suspended. That could be a key factor here. I don't know who the substitute is for Piqué. Maybe you could help me out, Miguel. Who's
Araujo, the Uruguayan.
Okay, Araujo. So is he capable of stepping up? I don't know. We'll see. But I think this gives the tilt to Juventus. They're healthy. They're only missing Ronaldo. If he does test negative, I think it would be better to maybe not start him. I don't know. And this is me being crazy. He would probably slap me in the face if I was his coach. Like, hey, man, you mind coming off the bench? Like, no, fuck you. I'm going to the start. But I think it might be better to let him kind of come in on the end because he's not going to be match fit. No. He's just not going to be match fit. And I think you're spot on, Miguel. Even if he does test negative at the very last moment, he's just not going to be match fit. And in my mind, he might be running on his own. I like the 2-2, but I feel like Morata really has a field day with a PK-less backline.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2-1 Juventus.
2-1. All right.
Messi is going to score some goal. He's going to score a goal. Maybe
Score
2.
some goals.
If Messi gets 2, it's a tie. If he only gets 1, I think Juventus win. But if he can get 2, possibly 3, Barcelona will tie or win this game.
I can dig it.
That's my predictions for this.
Dig it, baby. Still last group.
That ends us for Group G. We move on to another potential group of death here. This is Group H, Man U, Leipzig, PSG, Istanbul. Let's just go through the easy one. PSG, Istanbul. They look hot. This is a no-brainer.
Prayers up.
Over under 3 goals and a clean sheet. I'm going over 3, clean sheet PSG. Miguel, what you got?
I got PSG at least 2-0.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. PSG 8-0.
He said 8-0. Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. That's prayers up, Istanbul.
Prayers up. Man, we got 4 teams that are just here to party.
Just here to party, man.
They're just here. Like, give us the money, we'll show up and do what we need to do. But
where do I lean over? Oh, Neymar's here. Where I lean over, man?
Can we get Neymar's signature while we're there? Can we get Mbappe's signature?
Neymar's gonna swap the jerseys and sign their titties. He's gonna autograph the titties. It was fun. It was fun. I scored 8 on you.
Oh, God.
Man, that next game, though, man, it looks pretty fun.
This one's great. This is, for me, why this is a group of death, because Leipzig proved last year that they are capable, and they proved last year without Werner. They got to where they got without Werner, and then showed they didn't need him.
A team that nobody's going to talk about, okay?
That's right.
Nobody's going to pay attention to. Leipzig. I'm taking Leipzig.
Mm.
You know why? Because United always does this shit to us.
Yeah.
Roller coaster, Man United.
It's a roller coaster.
Go ride that roller coaster. Yeah, it's so fun. Oh, wait, what happened?
Yeah. You beat PSG,
right?
And you come play Leipzig. I think Leipzig comes and punches them in the mouth.
Played like ass yesterday against Chelsea.
Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Punched in the mouth,
I think Leipzig's high press, I think their high energy, youthful lineup is going to be too much for that back line, especially because we saw him not start Maguire against PSG, and it worked out. And then he starts him against Chelsea. Didn't really work out. They should have had a PK in the box against Azpilicueta.
Yep.
Got a little lucky there. I'm going to go Leipzig here. Miguel, what you got?
I got Leipzig 3-1.
Ooh.
Damn. All right. You have him just totally underestimating Man U, totally underestimating Leipzig. I can dig it.
That back line for Leipzig is much stronger than Man U. And if we look at the outside players for Leipzig, Angelino has been just a handful.
Mm-hmm.
Scored both of their goals last week.
Yep.
I mean, he has really stepped up to the plate. Poulsen looked really good. He was a really strong forward. I was able to hold up the ball. And then you got Danny Olmo and Nkunku, who both were looking very, very athletic and had that attacking mindset. So Not to mention fucking Upamecano.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Upamecano, Tyler Adams coming off the bench,
Yeah,
too.
you need to lean on Upamecano. That dude can take it past 2 or 3 lines on the dribble. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has the quality to put in a dissecting pass for any of those attacking players up front. It's and then, like I said last episode, let me see if I can find these notes. Coming off the bench, you had Patrick Kluivert.
Yeah.
Came from Roma.
Yep.
Just a stud in
Roma.
himself. You got Adams, as you said, and then I think his name is Benjamin, but Henrichs. Keep your eye out for Henrichs. Henrichs is another young, I believe he's German, but he's a quality player. He's very utility. He can play a lot of different positions. But, I mean, Nagelsmann, he's got this team identity just so – it's like it's so obvious and well-formed, and everyone's bought into it.
Yeah.
It's great. I love this Leipzig team going forward.
Glad you mentioned Upamecano because there's a little soap opera going on for you folks out there who don't know, but Man U's actually in the market to buy him this coming window. So
As well as Liverpool.
he has as well as Liverpool. So he has big game against them right here. You got to think they're ready to write the check.
I agree.
So
100% here. 100% here.
Cool.
Going through, I don't think we had a lot of shockers. I mean,
really.
this Leipzig Man U, you could argue this is a shocker, but pretty straightforward match day 2 here. Just quickly going through it. Yeah, these are all pretty straightforward. Definitely think we're going to see some shockers just because, as I said in all those episodes before, these games are so close together. You've got domestic league followed by Champions League, followed by domestic league, followed by Champions League. 3 weeks in a row, back to back to back to back to back. We're going to see some crazy stuff happen. Be on the lookout.
Oh, yeah.
Miguel, you got any closing words? Anything you want to add in here about match day 2?
No, man. I think we've hit the nail on this one. So far, so good.
Miguel, what we always like to do here at the Footy Fetish Show, we like to close it out with everybody giving a shout-out to anybody. It doesn't have to be soccer-related. It could be anybody in the world, man. So who's your shout-out?
Caught him. Yeah.
Shit, man. Well, it could be anybody at all.
Anybody at all.
It could be a team. It could be a person, a thing.
Could be your mom.
Your mom, your family.
I think I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Rays, man. I really want to see them win the World Series.
Hell yeah. I do too.
I like the fact when somebody comes across, and we all deserve the opportunity for greatness, you know. And I actually want to mention a good retirement for Khabib with the gloves down yesterday.
That's another great
That's a really good
shout-out.
one.
That's a really good one. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate that. It's really good.
Hell yeah. I even though they're in my division, I want to see the Tampa Bay Rays win it too because this is the second World Series they've been to, and last time they were kind of in the same boat. They had a whole lot of youngsters. They didn't win it. And also fuck the Dodgers. Other than that, yeah. I'm just so sick of hearing them crying. They cheated against us. You know, okay, so maybe a team cheated against you, but that didn't stop your pitching from being complete shit the last time you were in the World Series. Like, come on, guys. Anyway.
I think that because we've been talking about baseball and football a lot today, I'm going to mix it in as well. I think the last 4 years, maybe let's say the last 5 years actually, the biggest disappointments both in football and baseball are the Dodgers and PSG.
Yeah.
They've always choked. You know what I mean? Always
So perfect,
choked in the
dude.
last sense. What PSG did last year was ridiculous. What they did the year before, and the same for the Dodgers.
Damn,
Hell
bro.
yeah, dude. I love that.
That's a great close right there.
That's awesome.
I dig that. I got a double shout out here.
Do it.
It's the 2 local teams from New Orleans. One of them being the Crescent City Soccer Club, who recently reached out to Booty and I and asked them to be their TV personality moving forward. We're going to be potentially looking into to go to some of their practices and maybe do some live commentary for their home games, which would be really exciting. We're going to get some free gear. Hopefully this team grows and maybe joins the USL. That'd be awesome to have a team in the second division of American soccer. I'm also going to shout out the NOLA Gold Rugby Club. Is a new professional team in the Major League Rugby League in America. They have really done a great job growing their fan base. This is their 3rd year, and they're hoping to get 2,000 fans. I'm going to be potentially buying some season tickets and and helping them kind of grow their fan base. But they are playing out at Zephyr Stadium, the old Baby Cake Stadium out on Airline, and their season is starting soon. Hoping for the best. If you've never watched rugby, it is one of the most fun sports to watch.
It really
because
is.
you get so many elements from so many different sports. You're getting big hits. You're getting skillful ball work.
Like basketball. It's like basketball,
It's like
American football,
basketball,
soccer, like mixed.
exactly. There is kicking as well. They kick for points.
Yeah.
And then it's just it can be a very fast-paced game, or it can be kind of a slow game. You get all these different elements mixed into it, and they've got some really good people in their management. So
Hopefully that
shout out
keeps-
to Nola Gold.
I love seeing, not only like these little teams you're mentioning that are just starting up. I also love to see like the mom and pop stores and there's tons of them around New Orleans. For anybody who's listening out there, it's not from New Orleans.
Local.
Pretty much New Orleans is built on locals.
Locals.
Restaurants, and mom and pop stores, like we said, bars.
Yeah.
That really is New Orleans. So it's always awesome to see those grow and to see those hang around and see new ones pop up. I was at one last night. Shout out! I guess I'll shout this out. Shout out to Zoni Mash. They're a relatively new brewery here in NOLA. Another really good one that I can think of off the top of my head is it's called Parleaux. Parleaux. That's Parleaux. It's a really cool one. They have great stuff. But again, this is locals doing local things, man. So it's really cool to see stuff like that popping up. So hope it continues. Hope they grow. And to be honest with you, I'm not even the biggest fan of Zoni Mash's beer. It's just not my style, but they do really creative things. So props to them for being creative.
Nice.
They have a beer called S'more Booty. And my wife purchased it, and when she went to pay for it, they looked at her credit card, and they saw her name was Booty, and they just gave it to her for free. They're like, here, take it. So really cool. Really cool of them. So shout out to them. Appreciate that. This is close this out, man. You got anything else, Ocho?
NovaAcai.com. Buy
Do
some
it.
acai.
Thanks for being on, Miguel. Appreciate you,
Thank
brother.
you guys for having me, guys.
Nice meeting you, man.
Pleasure.
Hell yeah.
We're definitely bringing you back on. It's been a pleasure. I just got a message from Luis, who was supposed to be on. I didn't reach out to him fast enough, but I said, Luis, you're coming on the next episode with Miguel.
Hell yeah.
Right on.
We've been trying to get him on for a minute. He keeps bitching out.
No,
so.
different Luis.
Different Luis. I'm sorry.
Different Luis,
I'm sorry.
different
Okay.
Luis.
Sorry. Well, not sorry to that Luis. He's still a bitch then.
Yeah, no, that other Luis, he's being a little
Still a
bitch.
bitch. But
This Luis, actually, I nicknamed this Luis Dino when I first started playing with him. His ability to keep the ball on the sideline, what he would do is he'd get out to the sideline, he'd draw in 2 or 3 defenders, and then somehow get by him, and it would just blow my mind. Because when you put yourself on the sideline, you cut off half of the field.
yeah.
You have nothing behind you, and it was a way for him to just pull players away and then create space behind him.
Yeah.
And then he would get behind him, and now he's got all this open space in the middle of the field. It's absolutely brilliant. Dino, we're looking forward to having on the podcast in the future.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't followed us yet, please do. We are at the Footy Fetish Show, or are we at Footy Fetish Show?
Just
We're at Footy
no
Fetish
the,
Show.
because
No the.
we didn't have enough characters.
We're at Footy Fetish Show. We are on we're on Facebook. We're on Twitter for the Twatters. We are on Insta. Go follow us if you haven't, like I said. Please do. We love you. We love you. To everybody who's always listening and supporting us, keep preaching the good word, the gospel according to Footy Fetish. This has been the Footy Fetish Show, where the fetish is real and the footy is soccer.